Um, Hello everyone. I'm Mohammad Akbar, and today I will be demonstrating something that is called searching long text file with Python and shell script. My name is Mohammad Akbar, along with my friend author called Nazmussakib Shuvo, and this is a part of our course that we are doing in our university called North University in Bangladesh, and the course title is Concepts of Programming Language, and the course instructor is Dr. Kamruddin. Therefore, let's begin. So, in Python, what we do is, first of all, we are given a file that is called gut-index, which is in ALL form. Alright, so as you can see over here, there is a title and author, and there is etext number, which is also can be used as ID number as well. And there are about almost 57,000 entries of books, and the information of the book also includes the author of the book, and also sometimes the year in which it was published, also the subtitle, the translation, and various informations. So what we need to do is, we need to find a specific book, either by the name of the book, or by the name of the author of the book, or by the ID provided to us in this file. So as we can see, this is a very long text file, and we are gonna parse through the file using Python and shell script. Alright, moving on to the Python code. As you can see over here, please kindly follow the mouse pointer that I'll be using to indicate each and individual line of the code. In the first line, import codecs. Alright, as you can see, the file, it came in form of ALL form, and in order to actually get the data from ALL type of file, we need to import some specific codecs. This codec includes all the specific functionalities that we need to extract or to read the files such as .ALL. Right. So this is why we imported this codec. After that, we imported regular expression. This thing RE indicates regular expression, and we will see in the later of this code why we imported regular expression. Alright, moving on. Initially, as you can understand, we need user input. We need to input the data that we are looking for, and the variable is user input. We need file input, because we need to retrieve data from the file, and we need to match it with our user input to see whether it matched or not. We need to compare the file input with the user input to find the perfect match, and then later on print it. Then we have the select statement. Since we use the select variable because we have given 3 ways of finding the data, or 3 ways of finding the book, either by book's name, either by book's author, or by the book ID provided in the file. Alright, so that's why we had this select option, so that we can select which option to pick. Then we have this count one. Alright, this count is actually used to indicate that whether after we completed one successful search, do we want to continue again. Alright, in order to recontinue, we have used this count variable. Count variable, you will see it later on. Alright, so yeah, the first print statement is this one. Welcome to the book search. Then we actually throw the options to the user, to the person who will be going through the program, that press 1 in order to find the book by the name, press 2 in order to find the book by the author's name, press 3 in order to find the book by the ID. Alright, and then we printed a space because of the proper convention of the good looking code. Alright, so we initialized count equal to y, that yes, initially we want to continue, with our search. Alright, then we printed the, like, we asked the user for the desired option he or she want to do, he or she want to choose. Alright, and then we also eventually confirm the user what he or she has chosen, which option, which search option. Alright, then we started the search. It's 1. As we can see over here, 1 indicates searching book by the name, book's name, searching book by book's name. Alright, so as we can see that we have selected option 1. So if option 1 is selected, we have eventually opened the file that is gutindex.awl using the help of the codex. This codex, with the help of the codex, we have opened up this goodindex.awl file, and we have also encoded, we have broken up the code so that we can read it, and we can then later on produce the desired output. Alright, so we have another confirmation text over here that looking for the book's name I see. And then what we are doing is, we are eventually also confirming what he is looking for. Alright, we are eventually asking the user to put, we are asking the user over here to put the name of the book. Right, and we are printing what the user is looking for, and then this 2 line. Alright, this is what the first line of the text file is read. Alright, we can see that the first line of the text file is title and text number. Alright, so in order to have proper view, in order to properly view what we are printing out, we are actually printing out the table heading, so that user can understand, okay, this part of the output represents the book information, this part represents the ID information. Alright, so now what we do, we opened up a for loop for file input in fr. Fr is the variable where we eventually open the file. Alright, for the file input in fr, if user input dot lower in file input dot lower. Alright, so before this, let me demonstrate the function of this lower part. Alright, now the function of this lower part, it's what it is doing. In the user input, we have given the information, the book name, for instance the book's name. Alright, so when we gave out the book name, we eventually over here what we are doing, the entire book's name, for instance America, this entire America, if it's fully uppercase letter or the first character is uppercase, the entire word America is transformed to lowercase. I mean, all the alphabets of America will be in small letter. Right, and then in this file input option, you can see that in the for loop, we are eventually bringing out each and individual text from the file fr. Alright, in order to match. Alright, so the file input contains the each and individual text of the file. Alright, so this file input, it's turned to lower option. Alright, the file input is eventually the information or the each individual string of the file input is again transformed to lower option, so that we can eventually match the strings together. We can compare, and then after comparing, we will have a proper match to print out the output. Alright, so as we are saying here, the file we are comparing the two strings of lower cases. Alright, and then what we did, if we discover the user input in the file input, if the two string matches, what we are doing here is we are printing out this string, the entire information. we are printing out the entire information along with the next line of the information. If there could be next line, right, the information might occupy 2 lines in this text file. Alright, so we are printing the next line. Alright, and then what we did, we closed the file. Good. Next, we selected option 2. In option 2, we are looking for the book with the author's name. Alright, so as we know in Python, the first one is if, then it's elif, not else if. Alright, then we have elif if we picked option 2. We are again opening a file, we are again opening the file with the help of the codex, and then we are confirming user that what file, what option he has picked and what information he has provided. Alright, then again we are printing out the table heading, and then we are seeing that file input in FR. I mean, each and individual string is coming from the file into file input, and then we are eventually matching our input with the file input from the FR in lower case to have proper to actually eliminate the case sensitivity. Alright, and then if we found this proper match, we are eventually printing out the information. Alright, let's run this code for the first 2 information. Alright, we are running the first code for the first information over here. Alright, so here you can see that welcome to book search. Enter option 1 for search by book's name, enter option 2 for search by author's name, and enter 3 for search by book's ID. Right, so we pick the option 1. Alright, and then we press enter. We can see you have selected option 1, looking for book's name. I see, proper convention. Input your desired book's name. Alright, let's select a book's name over here. Alright, Nervous Illness. Okay, let's print out Nervous Illness. Okay, now Nervous Illness. Well, we have found the information. We can see the table heading, title, author, as well as e-text number. And then we can find the Nervous Illness, which is written by Boris Sidis, and the subtitle is Their Cause and Cure, and the book's ID is 56893. Let's match 56893. Yeah, we have finally found one. Alright, then let's look for something else. Let's look for this one, Susan Salina. Alright, this is the name of the book. Alright, Susan Salina. Let's copy it from here. Copy. Over here, we have seen that we have finally discovered this, our book. Alright, we want to continue. Yes, we want to continue. This part will be demonstrated later, how we are continuing it. Alright, again we are asked to select option by book's name, and we have asked to give the desired input. We pasted Susan Celine, and when we search for Susan Selena, we press enter, and then we have the information again. Susan Selena, Manessa Jack, London. ID number is 56,882, and the language is in Finnish. Alright, so we have successfully searched it. Okay, let's search in terms of author. Alright, let's search this one by T.G. Walkley. Alright, so when we go back to our code, yes, we want to continue again, and this time we can see, if we clear this, if we run this again, we are asked to find, we want to find by the name of author. Alright, so we press 2, enter. We are asked to find the book's name by author. Alright, so we paste the name of the author that we found from the gut file. Alright, and then we decided, we pressed enter. Alright, now you see Susan Selena, Manessa Jack, Oh, I'm sorry, I've done the same thing again, same search again. Let me run this code again. Alright, we're asked to find by the author's name. We select option 2, and then we're looking for the TJ Walking. We copy the name of the author and then we paste it over here. Alright, well, we have the information over here that Forge Egypt Antiques by TJ Walking, and the ID of the book is 56881. Alright, the name of the book, and the author, and the ID number. The name of the book, the author, and the ID number 56881. 56881. Alright, okay, so we have successfully found the name of the book by author and by the book's name. Moving on to our last option, by finding the name of the book, finding the book information by ID. This is a bit tough and a bit complex, so let's focus over here. So as usual, we opened up the file, we input the file in this fr variable, we print out the various information that will be displayed on the console, the terminal. Alright, then we print out the heading one. Alright, now look at the file over here. We can see that in the ID number, before one thing, let me mention that when you are given a set of data, instead of writing the code first by knowing the information, analyze the data, analyze bit of the data, what's happening over there, what is provided, what exactly is there. Alright, so when I got this data first, I analyzed and found that most of the ID had a distance from the information of about less than 3 space. Alright, we have 3 space distance in between the ID to the text number, but when we come to this one part, we see that single digits or few of the multiple digits have a very large distance from their initial text information. Alright, so this is a string search that we are doing over here. So in terms of string search, what we need to do is we need to actually search in everything in terms of string. Now you can see that there is a 1 over here, and we can also see that there is a 4 over here. Alright, now there is a 4 over here, there is a 4 over here as well. So what we need to do, we need to have some characteristics difference in between them, so that we can identify the difference between them, like which one is the actual for ID number 4 and which one is the March 4. Alright, so what we search for is, we search for a gap. The ID numbers are having some certain spaces from their string information. Alright, this is also a string, this is also a string, everything over here is a string. Alright, that's why what I did personally is I stated specific distances of ID number from the respective initial string, the first line of the string of the information, adjacent information. Alright, so what I did a basic search. The basic search involved that if the user ID input is greater than 30. Alright, if the user ID input is greater than 30, what I'm saying is, if the user ID input is greater than 30, the line in FR, the specific line of FR is brought, alright, to over here. This is the thing we said in the first beginning, that RE, regular expression. We imported this regular expression part. Alright, so what we are doing is, we are again doing this RE thing. We have imported, where is that? Yes, over here we have imported this RE. Alright, RE, regular expression search. Alright, so what you see over here, that since it's above 30, I mean from 30, ID number 30 to 56,000. Alright, first we identified a space. Alright, up space. I mean, before this there is nothing else. There is nothing else before this, and then there is one space of gap. Alright, one space of gap, and then our ID is placed, and then it stopped. I mean, this is a word search. Right, entirely the user input, our input is surrounded by one space. That's it. nothing else is after that, nothing else is before that. Alright, so what we are doing is we are searching it by this, and then we are printing out something that enhances our output. Alright, and then we'll do the next line. And if the input ID is greater than 30, that is up to 56,000 plus, we are what we are doing, we are giving two space. Alright, one space and second space. Our input ID, before our input ID there are two spaces, and before that there is nothing, and after that there is nothing. This indicates there is nothing after our input. Our input ends over there. There is no more thing to be searched. There is nothing else over there. Alright, and this one also indicates that after those two spaces there is no word over there. Alright, so that we can eventually distinguish between this 4 and this 4. Such strings can be distinguished. That's why we use regular expression, and then we paste the headings, and as usual we printed out the next information. Right, so let's just finish the code first. Let's just demonstrate the code first, and then we can move on to the entire program execution. Alright, so we see that if else our input, the options, if we have placed an ambiguous option, if we have placed a wrong option, such as if we wrote 4, then it will prompt the user that wrong input, try again, and then we continue back with our loop. Alright, now we see that in the beginning we said that there is a count variable that was initialized with yes. Alright, this actually asks the user that whether the user want to continue with the search again or not. I mean, whether you want to research something else or not. If we want to research our research for the book information, then we press Y, or if not, then no. Alright, so if we pressed yes, then there is an output like you have decided to continue, and then we continue with our search again, giving the options to the user. Else, if we say that no, we place N, then we decided that we inform the user that you have decided to discontinue. Thanks for your time. Alright, now we will going to go through each and every remaining sections. Alright, so we run this, we put our console over here. Let's look for information of book for like option 3 we select. Alright, and then desired ID number, let's place 4 over here. Alright, so when we place 4 over here, we can see that we have this information. This Lincoln's Gothenburg address given November 18, Lincoln's Gothenburg address given number 19, 1883, and the battlefield near Gettysburg Peninsula, US. Alright, and let's look number 4. See, we have the exact information over here as well. So we clear it out again. We run this. Book search option. We pick option 3 again. Alright, we pick option 3. Now let's search for book. Let's search for subtraction books of above. Here we go. Let's search for 11,000, or let's search for 11,471. Alright, we searched for 11,471. When we place our information, we have the information of the book. Deep Waters Part 1, Shareholders by W.W. Jacob. Alright, Deep Waters Part 1, shareholder W.W. Jacob. Alright, let's go move ahead and let's search for more. 11,495. Let's search for it. Want to continue? Yes, we want to continue. And then desired option is 3. Remember the desired option is 3 for the ID. Alright, what are we searching for? 11,495. 11,495. We place the option, and then we found out the information that we are looking for, that La Man Gucci by Guy de Maspand. La Man Gucci by Guy de Maspand. Language is French. Alright, then we look for more books. Let's search for more books. Alright, So well it's 11,000. Let's go to 50,000. Right, let's go to this 50,405.92. Alright, do you want to continue? Yes. 50,405.92 ID. Oh, I'm sorry, I have given the wrong information. Desired input option, like option selecting the ID, option 3. Alright, looking for ID, looking for books I see, now the ID. Alright, 5,405.92. We have the information over here. Morsius Puku by Alexandre Dumas Perry. Language is Spanish, that's why I had difficulty pronouncing it. Right? This is the information. Alright. So, I mean, if we again rerun the text and then we placed an ambiguous option such as 5, there is the option given. You have selected option 5, then wrong input. We are prompt to try again. Enter your desired option. Then your desired option is, like, for instance, if we pick 3, and this is shown. Alright? So we can see that we have actually found this one using Python. We have parsed through a long text file using Python to find out a book information using the book's name, the author's name, and the book ID provided by the file. Moving on, we can move on to the shell script now. Python is done. Let's move on to shell script. Alright. So usually, what we understand is shell script is something that is done using Linux. Alright. I mean, you can eventually install or do it online. Bash scripts are available there. But then again, I would suggest like doing the scripting language in Linux is much more easier and effective. Right. So before we jump into the program execution, let's go through the code first. Alright. So we are echoing, please stretch the terminal for better output. Yes, we need to stretch our terminal for better output because we are creating a table heading. So in order to have a better output, in order to have a better view, we are asked to stretch our terminal. Alright. So what we are doing, we are welcoming the user, and then we are asking for the option 1 to search the book by book's name, option 2 search the book by the author's name, and the option 3 search the book by the book's ID. Alright, then we are reading a variable from the user called select. Alright, that select is a keyword for this shell script language. That's why we are not using the specific word select, we are using select over here. The variable name is select or select, whatever you say. So then we are saying that we are asking the user to place the option select one. Alright, and if the select is equal to 1, if the user input is equal to 1, EQ means equal. It is comparing, conditional statement. So it is comparing our select input whether it's equal to 1 or not. If it's equal to 1, we are asking the user to enter the book's name. Alright, the book that we are looking for. Alright. So the user will enter the book's name. This is initially printing out a space, and then this is initially printing out the heading of the table, so that we can eventually understand, well, we can have a better visibility of what's happening. This part of the output represents the book's name, the author's name, and this part represents the ID. Right? This is grep. Now, grep is a very, very strong Linux command or shells command. Alright? What it does, it eventually manipulate text, search text, and give the output. Usually for text searching and other searching options, this is very, very effective. Right? There are proper definitions of grep. If you like, you can go through it. Alright. Linux, it has a built-in option called man grep. When you go through man grep over the terminal of Linux, you can see the entire information what grep can do. Yes, it is a very, very, very powerful tool. You can see grep searches for patterns in each file. Right? A very pattern matching, strong pattern matching tool. Right? So we can clear this out. Alright, going to the text again. So what we are doing, we are matching this I. Alright, this I has the entire similar functionality that we had in Python. Input.lower in file input.lower. This is eventually making our input small letters, so that we can eventually the file from the text is in small alphabets. The file of the strings of the file is converted to small alphabets. The user input is converted to small alphabets so that they can be matched, reducing or eventually eliminating the case sensitivity. Alright, this eventually helps the program to reduce the case sensitivity so that we can eventually match the file or match our input. Alright, this option color, alright, this is given so that the pattern or the string or the specific thing that we are looking for, if we type something, if we type the information, if it matches with the if it matches in the file and produces the output that is displayed, the part of the output that we typed in is highlighted. Alright, for instance, we search the book's name America. Alright, and then if the output comes along with the book's name, their author's information and the ID, this color option helps to highlight the America part. The output that came, it highlights the desired part that we eventually input. Alright, we are given the search a book by word. What word? America. Alright, then it produces several books information and also highlights the part where the word America is. Okay, now we are doing a regular expression over here as well. Alright, we are indicating that the book information that we place, for instance America, it's not inside, the string, if we're ensuring that it's not a substring of a string. Alright, it is, for instance, if somebody searches America, but if someone will search Rica, then Rica is also in America. Alright, then we don't want that. We want only the word Rica, not America. Alright, this part ensures that the word we are looking for, it's not a part of a bigger word. Alright, for instance, an author's name, Richard. Alright, there could be someone authors such as Richardus. So that we are looking for specific Richard, not Richardus. We are looking for this word, and we are ensuring that this word is not a part of a bigger word. It's not inside a bigger word. Alright, so this ensures that, and then we are searching it inside the same old file, gut-index.awl. Alright, so then we are echoing it, we are producing a space. Next option, we see at option 2. In the same way, we are asking the user for the input of the author's name. We read the author's name from the user and place it in an author variable. The variable is declared using dollar symbol. Alright, and then we printed out the heading of the table, and then the same way we see that our input is turned into small alphabets, so that and also the individual strings from the file is also turned into small alphabets so that they can be properly matched. Alright, and then we have placed the author name inside this /b, so that we ensure that author's name, it's not part of a bigger word. Alright, it's not inside a bigger word, it's not inscribed a bigger word. We're ensuring this with /b. And then we're printing out this, we're creating a space for better visibility, and then we picked option 3. Option 3 is again about ID. Alright, so moving on, we have placed our ID inside a num variable, and then we have done the same thing. Alright, here what we did is, if the variable num is less than, LT means less than. If the variable num is less than 10,000, what we do, we are creating 3 space gap, and then producing the number itself. There are 3 space, and then there is the integer that is not part of a very large string. Integer, I mean 1999. For instance, we are searching for 1999. 1999 is not a part of, it's not inside, for instance, 11,999. We're ensuring this by placing b/b. We're ensuring that 1999 will not give the output that has 11,909. Alright, I mean, let's demonstrate it in a new chapter. For instance, we are searching for 1999. Alright, but this, if we look for this, if we don't give /b, it can also, if there are strings such as 11,099, it will also produce this, because 999 is a part of it. Alright, so it will produce this string. But if we place /b, and then we have various data such as this and this and this. If we /b, these outputs will be avoided. Only this one will be given. If we don't place /b, all these outputs will be given, because 1999 is within all of them. Alright, this is the significance of 1999. Alright, so this is the significance of /b. Sorry. And then this spaces also indicates the same thing that I've explained in Python languages. That, alright, the string, the data that we are given. Over here we see that the initial line of the information has got some certain space distance from the ID to the information. If we go through the gut file again, we can see that, yeah, see this information, this ID number has got this certain distance from the book information in the very beginning. Alright, this one, you can see it over here as well. Alright, certain distance. So sorry, a little bit lagging over here, issues, since I'm using the virtual box. So yeah, so you see that this information, we have placed 3 space and then the number. If the number, our input ID is less than 10,000, we print the information. Else, in other cases, if it's, I mean, more than 10,000, we place it like this. For instance, the larger number has got less space from the initial string information, book information. Alright, and then we close the if else. The conditional statements is usually closed, if is usually closed with phi, if phi, reverse. Alright, else this why we placed if phi, because this phi represents the end of this if, nested if. Alright, then the last option is that if we place the wrong option, if we place something other than 1, 2 and 3, it will echo that, yeah, we have given this wrong input, try again. Alright, and then we can close this, our initial if, with this phi. Alright, now let's run the code. Alright, so since our code is within this file, we don't need to state in a directory. We just do straight like this, right? / the book search. Alright, so welcome to the book search. And then please, first information is please stretch your terminal for better output. Yeah, we are stretching it for better output. Alright, we're stretching it over here. Alright, so we're stretching it over here, and then we are asked to give information. Let's search book name. If the option is on, enter book's name. Let's go and find a book's name. Alright, Adventure of Andy Cam. Alright, we copy the information, and then what we did do here is we paste it over here. It's lagging again. Alright, I'm sorry. Let's let's copy the information over from here, somewhere from here. Alright, let's copy it. Bob and his mother, master. Yes, I'm sorry, Bob and his master, and then we place it in the terminal. Alright, and we are searching for the book. See, we have this proper search that Bob and his master by Joel Chandler Harris, and the book ID is 56883. Alright, going to the information back then, we have this exact output over here, 56883. Then we are looking for a book called Forged Egyptian Antiquities, and then we go to the terminal. We again go up to our option that we want to search book by name, and then we place the information, and then we search it. You see again the Forged Egyptian Antiquities is highlighted because of this part that I've stated before, this color part. This color part is responsible for the highlighting, this highlighting portion. Right? Our search is this one. Is this search text is highlighted because of this minus color thing. Right? Okay. Then we want to look for by author's name this time. Author's name is the option. Author's name. We look at the text file and look for the author name. Alright, let's look by author name. Let's look by this, by Maxim Gorky. Right, we copy this, we go to the terminal, we paste this, and we search. Now we see that Maxim Gorky has written many books. Alright, multiple books. Maxim Gorky, Tales from Gorky by Maxim Gorky, The Outcasts and Other Stories by Maxim Gorky, Confession by Maxim Gorky, and the respective ID numbers are also printed. Alright, we can see. Alright, so let's search a book by the ID 681, and let's see if this one's come out or not. Alright, so we go to the terminal again, we again go to our option. Alright, option 3, and we're asked to place the ID 681. 681. Alright, if we place the 681, we see that we have found out the exact information over here. Creatures that once were men by Maxim Gorky. Creatures that once were men by Maxim Gorky. Alright, so let's search for another book. 56,870. Alright, 56,870. 56,870. Tales from Gorky by Maxim Gorky. Alright, so Tales from Gorky by Maxim Gorky. Okay, let's search for some other books using the ID. Alright, let's search for this one, 56,860. Alright, let's go. Where is the information? Yeah, we want to print a book by its ID 56,860. The Quest of Pallas by Emily Zola. Alright, so let's search for something else. Let's search. What should we search? Let's search this one, 56,852. 56,852. Alright, 56,852. See, The Time and Free Will by Henry Bergson. Alright, an essay of immediate data of Kaosain. Okay, let's search for something else. Let's go down to 7,000. Let's go down to this one, right? 8,123. We want to search by 8,123. Book ID 8,123. Virginians by William Makepeace Tertiary. Alright, so we go here, we found the information. Alright, so let's search a book by the writer T.W. Lumb. Let's search what T.W. Lumb has written for us. Alright, So we go to the main option of the author's name, we paste the author's name. Oh, Mr. T.W. Lumb has written the one book, Authors of Grace. Alright, so we move on to the text editor. Let's look for the last book of the day. Alright, some book that is written by this Nathaniel Hawthorne. Alright, we copy this, we go to our main option. Option is by author's name, and then we paste the author's name, and then we search. My god, Nathaniel Hawthorne has written many books. Alright, we can see each and individual information that he has written, 5,000, the book ID that he has written as well, the ID of the book that he has written. Alright, it started from 33 and it went 55,250. Alright, so here we have seen that how we have searched through a long text file that contained information of books, their authors and their IDs, and we have searched the books, used the book and their book information using the book's name, the book's author and the book's ID. I hope this is clear to you and to everyone who is like thinking of doing such things. Alright, lastly, if somebody asks me that if I want to evaluate within the Python and the shell script, I would say if you look in the codes, the individual codes, right, the ideology of, basic coding, it's very easy in shell script. We have done much much complexity over here. We haven't go through it. Simply we are using this grep function in each and every options that we are using. Alright, and it's a matter of only one line. Alright, there is no need to write methods that involves opening file and we have to close the file and we have to do it each and every time we open the file. Alright, we are using a for loop to go through the entire file. Alright, and we have also had to mention that how we eventually reduce the case insensitivity, but over here we just used only one line, that is grep I. Right, in terms of writing or in terms of taking book's name and author's name, we use this grep I to reduce the case insensitivity. And over here you wouldn't see grep I because this part is entirely dealing with the ID, and there is no need for grep I because integers there is nothing as uppercase and lowercase of integers. Alright, so we can see that the codes are written in shell script is much more simple, easier and clean in compared to the code that we write in Python. For each and individual functions we have to write so many things. For instance, we have to open up the file, we have to take in user input, we have to go through a for loop, we have to go through a conditional statement again, where then we gave out and then we have to close the file. So much things we have to remember, so many things that we have to go through. But in terms of shell scripting, we see that we didn't go through much of it. Instead, we have to keep in mind how regular expressions such as these, and most importantly in terms of ID, that /s and /b are used. Right? Over here, /s means space, and in Python we see that space, there is nothing that represents space. We give the space bar. Alright, but over here this /s means space, and the concept of b remains same. Yeah, there are some similarities. For instance, there is not special field data type that we mentioned. We just simply declare the variable. In Python, we also simply declare the variable. Alright, we never mentioned the data types. We were never bound to data types. Alright, so there are certain similarities, but then again, we see if we go through the searches, if we search the same thing over here, for instance, Nathaniel and Hawthorne, like for instance, let's go through the search of 9258 in Python. If we run the code and search this book option by 3. Alright, 9258. We have given a desired input. See, it came 9258, but it wasn't as fast as shell script. Alright, so if we search again from something from shell script, for instance, we search for 9254. Alright, so we go to this Python. Alright, we want to continue. Yes. Alright, and then 9258. Alright, see, there is certain time that is needed to give out the answer, because it goes through the entire file and then gives out the answer. Alright, but in terms of Linux, if we go it, alright, and if we picked 9258, we can see instantly the result is over here. There is no delay at all. Alright, the result come out instantly. We can understand that shell script is much faster, more simpler. It takes less time, takes less code to write to produce the same output as that of Python. Thus, we can eventually evaluate and we can have a visible difference, and we can understand which one is better. Right? I prefer shell script. Those of you who know Python might prefer Python. The decision up to you. But then again, the visible differences over there you can easily judge. So thank you for watching my video. I hope I helped many of you, or at least some of you, with my information that I have given. Alright, this might help you out in courses that involves going through long text file to parse out information using Python or shell script or even other languages. The concept will be the same if the informations are such similar. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, you learned something from it. So thank you, and everyone, peace out everyone. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope I have helped you a lot. Alright, so thank you.